Guess who?
Oh, what's going on, everybody? It's time for DwreckTV, and you know who this is. It's Dwreck. Another week, another drawing video. This past week at work has just been absolutely tiresome. I'm almost falling asleep, but I'm pulling through it. I'm getting through it. Worked all weekend, all day, and all week, making money and just working hard work. But that's the life of being an adult. You gotta work hard, make money. And after all that, I get to come into this game room and play some games, watch some movies, and draw some characters. Today and this week, I'm going to be drawing something that my wife requested me to draw. She's been requesting me to draw something like this for the last couple weeks. And that is Marvin the Martian. Much like how I drew Daffy Duck from the Looney Tunes a couple weeks back, my wife wanted me to draw Marvin the Martian because she thinks he's like the funniest thing. So, that being said, let's get to drawing Marvin the Martian. As you can see, I have a reference sheet because I'm not used to drawing Marvin the Martian, so got a reference sheet up here to see how we're going to be doing this. So, let's get to it, y'all. Drop this down like that. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see how we can do this. Now, he looks a little too small. Let's try like this. Adjust. There we go. A big old circle. He's very circle. He's very curvy, like any typical Looney Tunes character. That's gonna be his helmet. Work's just been not very hectic in a way, but just that's how work is. But I get to do things like this. Let's go like this. We're gonna fix that in post, but it's like it goes up like this, so you gotta get the correct. We gotta get the correct angle. Yeah, that should do it. Looks like he's got a broomstick, like a mop on his head. But that's almost like a gladiator in a way. You make me very angry indeed. I like to do character or voices. I can do Bugs, I can do Daffy, I can do Porky, and Elmer Fudd, and Sylvester, and Tweety. I love character. I love character doing voiceovers. Well, back to the drawing board. Mel Blanc was a genius. To be the only man to voice the Looney Tunes for so many years, for decades, is miraculous. It's gonna be very hard for anybody to try to do something like that, like to voice so many characters. Like, how does he do that? That's what you call talent, people. That's what you call talent. And Mel Blanc was talented to voice those many characters. I really like voice actors. People like Mel Blanc, and people like even Walt Disney when he voiced Mickey for a little bit, and also like Jim Cummings. He was really good with his voice acting. And I'd say my favorite has to be, like I said before, Charlie Adler. He was one of my favorites. And Rob Paulson is always gracious. I think this is the first time I've drawn something that didn't start with their eyes. Well, we're getting to his eyes now. My wife thinks Marvin the Martian is like the funniest thing. He's like he's just eyes and a face, and she also likes that red monster from Looney Tunes that Bugs tries outsmarting. I like to put pigs in the water. I showed my wife that, she freaking lost it. She freaking laughed her ass off. She's like, so that's where you got that from? Like, yeah. I love making my wife laugh. Because I love hearing her laugh. I love hearing my wife laugh. So many years it was always tough for me to draw hands, because trying to draw hands like humans, like 5 fingers, was always tough. Always tough. But drawing hands like cartoony style, like this, is easier for me to draw. That's why I'd rather draw hands like this as opposed to like realistic hands, because I tried drawing realistic people, but they always come out looking like them. I make them look like aged. They look like older than what they're supposed to be. So I just draw them like anime style or cartoon style, because I think that they look way more better than in cartoon style than they would, you know, realistically. Especially like these kind of art styles are like very timeless, very classic, very cartoony, if you will. And you can always go back to it, and you always get like enjoyment out of it. It's appealing, if you will. That's not a jab at realistic art. I mean, I applaud anybody that can draw like an actual person and make it look amazing. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to my art style, I think I excel more as a cartoonist than I would drawing an actual person. I would draw them in like an anime style, if that's the case. And I remember back in high school, and especially school, how a lot of kids, they always used to draw characters looking very stiff. I love to draw with curves and shade and things like that. It always bothered me, like, why people draw so stiff. Yeah, it's raining outside. It's been raining on and off all day and night. And now I just stopped. Still getting enjoyment out of the Switch 2. I'm gonna be bringing the Switch 2 with me to Gonzales for Pro Wrestling 225 show, because that's gonna be this weekend. So be sure to check out Pro Wrestling 225 in the next couple weeks for the Gonzales show. And I know my wife's going to be wanting a copy of this, so after I finish drawing and inking this, I'm going to make a copy, and then I'm going to start coloring it. Trying to get my bearings, if you will. Okay, I think it's good like that as a penciling. Now let's get to inking him. He is a fun character to draw. Very simple, very straightforward and to the point. If he had like a face mask right here, he almost looked like Shredder. That's hilarious. I've been enjoying the Switch 2, and I just got to Rainbow Road on Mario Kart World, and Rainbow Road looked absolutely amazing. They really outdid themselves with that one. I'd say the Rainbow Road on Mario Kart World has to be the most amazing one by far. It was like its own world in a way. The scope and everything was amazing. I loved it. I love Mario Kart World. But can't wait for the new games that's gonna be coming out. And I'm looking forward to Donkey Kong Bonanza, in which Pauline is wearing Jinkos. I thought that was amazing. That Pauline's gonna be wearing Jinkos on Donkey Kong Bonanza. Let's see, this is a little. Yeah, probably can't see. Let's get that. Okay. One of these days I should do like a seminar on how to draw characters and such. I think that'd be fun. Much like how Todd McFarlane did those comic book greats with Stan Lee. I think I would do good with doing something like that on YouTube. Like especially like doing like how would I do original characters, how would I do stories, how would I come up with characters, how would we draw new characters, because that's what I love to do. As much as I love to draw established characters like this for everybody's enjoyment, I love to draw original characters as well. Something that no one's ever seen before. The kind of original characters that I like to draw is something that either people have never seen before, or the kind of characters that people haven't seen in years. Something completely original, or something that's like a nod to the past but made new today. I love doing things like that. And if you're watching this right now, if there's any kind of cartoon character that y'all like to see me draw, leave a comment below and I will get to it. I'm taking any and all requests. It can be a cartoon character, it could be an anime character, it can even be a scenery. I love to do sceneries. And now it wants to start raining again. Okay, Marvin the Martian is all inked up. Looks pretty good, don't you think? I think it looks pretty cool. Alright, let's erase them up and I'm going to make a copy and I will get to coloring them. Okay, we've made a copy of them for my wife. Now, let's get to coloring Marvin the Martian, shall we? Now, let's get to the easy parts first. I'm using Artist Loft. I use Artist Loft, I use these ones, I think it's called Master's Touch, Fine Arts. And my wife got me these years ago, the Touch Marker. I tried getting some Copacs, but they are very ridiculously expensive. But these are just as good. I did get to watch that Porky Pig and Daffy Duck movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up. That movie was amazing. I should do a review on that movie. I should do a movie review on that. It's been a long time since I've done actual movie reviews, or even a game review. I should start doing those again. Probably. But I like doing original stuff. I like to draw. I like to create. Not just talk about things that are already established. And I know that's what got me started on YouTube in the first place. But now that I can actually be creative, like I've always said for these last few years that I've been on YouTube, I'm actually doing it now, and I'm getting very much enjoyment out of it, even though the views have gone down significantly because it's not the top 10 video games and such, but I'll get back to those one day. Right now, I just love to draw. I love drawing. I love doing this stuff. I really, really do. Like I said, I get more enjoyment out of drawing than most other things, because this is actually something that I know I'm good at. I love drawing characters, I love drawing backgrounds, I love the color, I love to make stories, I love to draw out stories in comic book form. Even though when I was a kid I didn't really get too many comic books because like I've said before, comic books where I come from has always been looked at as an uncool thing. But over time that all kind of changed. Drawing the Earthworm Jim comic book, and then doing a Mario fanfic for a couple of years, then going into my original comic books series, then going into another comic book series that didn't really get too much traction because that was during the time when I had gotten laid off from my job and it just kind of got put to the wayside. But I really do want to get to that again because one of my nephews, Chaotic Kid, he says he really loves the character in it and he really wants to see it drawn out. But it's been almost 10 years since I've drawn it, but I do plan on getting back to that character. And now I'm working on a completely brand new project that I know a lot of people's gonna love. It's based on martial arts tournament fighting. I'm not gonna say the name right now, but that's what it involves. Martial arts tournament fighting. And it was really something that I came up with back in high school when I was 17. I only wrote out like the first act, but I never got past it, and I just kind of put it in my notebook. And then I just wanted to do something new, something different. Then I looked into my old notebooks because I came up with a lot of stuff in that Mario project. Me and my friends came up with so many things in that project that I really want to bring to an original setting with original characters, because things in that project are too good to just leave behind creatively. So I thought I'm gonna take a lot of the stuff that we came up with, like all the stuff that we come up with Mario and Sonic and the original characters that we was coming up with. So I was gonna take that, make original characters, and bring those to the forefront, because like I said, those stories that we came up with in that Mario fanfic are too good to just be left in notebooks. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. But like I said, I can't really talk too much about it because I want to get it perfected and at least draw at least a few pages before I even start showing it off. I got character concepts drawn. I got the first 9 pages in the storyboarding drawn. That's just storyboarding though. Yeah, I can draw, I can pencil, I can ink, I can color, I can storyboard. I could do pretty much anything that would take at least 6 people to do in a comic book studio. But I would love to have help with a lot of things, but for the last few decades, every time I would get help, they would only yeah. It was almost like that scene from Family Guy with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. He would come up with one thing and then Ben Affleck would be like, yeah, that's good. Like no contributions at all, it's just a yeah. A lot of people would do that and then I'd never hear from them again. I'd never see them around. The only person that lasted the longest with that was Karshalit. Karshalit helped me out with that project, my original comic book project. He came up with it as well because one of the characters he came up with. So I don't really like to say like it was my project, but
I have to give him credit too, because he was a huge help for the first few episodes. So a lot of credit for one of my big projects, comic book projects, has to go to him as well. Alright, Marvin is looking really good. Damn, I love to talk about things like this. I know a lot of y'all saying, what the hell are you talking about? Well, if you know me outside of YouTube, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But to the people that don't know, if you're just a random person just watching this video, listening to me just ramble on about creative things and everything, y'all have no idea what I've been through in the last 30 years creatively. I wish I had a camera when I was like maybe 10 years old, doing my own projects and everything, especially doing with the Looney Tunes and Rocko's Modern Life characters on a cassette tape, doing voiceovers, just making up stories with those kind of characters, interacting with each other, and especially some original characters that I came up with in that project. Mostly the like villain characters, but Marvin the Martian was definitely one of them. Man, this was like almost a year before Space Jam was a thing. So yeah, I've been a big fan of Looney Tunes ever since I was a little kid. Yeah, I've been doing fanfic projects. I've done original projects for God knows how long, since I was like 10 years old. I've been drawing since I was 5. I'm a very creative person, not just talking about video games and talking about movies and talking about other nerd culture thingies that everybody's so fond of on YouTube since the inception of YouTube. I know I've gone on too long about talking about a lot of things. I gotta get to doing Marvin the Martian. But I'm glad a lot of people get a kick out of things like this. It's very relaxing, very very calming, if you will. Very calming. That's what I love to do. I love to do like a lot of calming things. Because like I said, doing something like this gives me a lot more happiness and pleasure than, say, anything else. Let's get the broad strokes. When it comes to something like this, we gotta have the broad strokes. Would I ever start a comic book publishing, or like comic book like how Ripperverse does or whatever, or like Ethan Van Sciver's All Caps Comics? I would, but I really don't. Oh, I almost forgot the freaking top. I would, but I don't want to be caught up in the whole culture wars. I try to be part of that culture wars, trying to tell people about certain things, but it was leading me to misery, and I just thought, I can't do this no more. It's making me miserable, just like all these other people. I can't do it, and I don't see how anybody can do it on a daily basis. Like, these people sound absolutely miserable. Everybody down from Yellow Flash to even Stuttering Craig and his company on the Side Scrollers podcast. Everybody's just becoming miserable with culture wars and crap like that. And I do not want to be caught up in it, because it's just ridiculous. And like I said before, I don't like what most of these entertainment companies are doing as much as the next person, but I'm not going to sacrifice my well-being and my mental health and my happiness just for clicks and getting the message out. What is Mittens doing? Mittens is always getting into some kind of crap. These things are so hard to get off. Okay. Marvin the Martian looks absolutely amazing. I'll tell you what, let's give him like some little shade. Now you can barely see it, but I'm giving him like a little shade. Now you can probably barely see it on the camera, but I'm just giving him some broad strokes and some shading to his gloves and such. And that should do it. I can just barely see. See? Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, Marvin the Martian. He looks fantastic, wouldn't you say? As opposed to the reference material. Yeah, he looks amazing. There you have it. Marvin the Martian, drawn by DwreckTV. He looks amazing. Very simple design, straightforward to the point, very curvy. Like the outlines are just very curvy and everything. It's very much an old style cartoon character from the Looney Tunes. Absolutely amazing. Very fun to draw. Very funny character. You just can't. He's one of them characters that you just can't take seriously. Hey, Marcy, I'm trying to blur up the Earth because it blocks my view of Venus. He gets blown up. Well, back to the old drawing board. I love it. I love things like this. I hope y'all do as well. So, that being said, I gotta get some sleep. I'm freaking tired. And this weekend, I gotta go to Gonzales for Pro Wrestling 225. So, if y'all in the area, go check it out. And if y'all can't make it, check it out on Pro Wrestling 225 Unleashed, Fridays at 6 p.m. So, that being said, this is Drek signing out. See y'all on the flip side. And hope y'all enjoy the arts because I love doing these things.